Deixa eu ver por onde vou. Aquele é o comerciante. Tem de ir para ali. Então vamos... Ok. Por que é que ele não anda? Comerciante não. Por que é que ele não está a andar? O que é que se passa aqui?
In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight. You immediately recognise the wagon.
That's Mort's wagon.
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindil. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, you check the surrounding area, and be careful.
O que é que aconteceu com comerciantes?
You scan the road and the woods on both sides.
Atacaram comerciantes?
Apart from the twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, you can't hear or see anyone. You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon. Hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides. The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar, but the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through. The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different. It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large wardrobe, and next to the door on the left is a heavy wooden chest with rusty metal hinges. The smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest.
Não há nada lá dentro? Guarda-roupa.
You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle. You try to work out what has soaked the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more. Lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf, headless. The head has been cut clean from the neck, but the dwarf's clothes leave you in no doubt that this is Mort, the trader. You take a couple of deep breaths.
Cortaram a cabeça do anão.
His head has been cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen.
Cortaram a cabeça e ficaram com a cabeça.
As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat.
Oh, tem mais carne.
You take the loot. You can't play, but an instrument like this is worth good gold.
É instrumento de música, ok?
You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days.
Mexer da carroça.
You give a short, sharp whistle, and the twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon, beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow Rock have something to do with this.
Mercenários.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well. You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
De nível. Nível 5. E agora? E agora? Continuar. O que aconteceu? Por que ele não anda? Então. Por que eu não posso andar? Então. O que aconteceu? Um bug? Que raios?
In the early evening, you scan the wagon. You can the dwindling. It is messy. The small. You reach. You take a step. The head. His head. As you. You take the. You give a.
I have a hunch.
Wretch!
You wrap.
Vamos todo nível outra vez. Vamos embora. Deixa-me gravar. O que é aqui?
You come across an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed and a straw hat is covering his face.
Sobre os mercenários.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries. Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer, what's in it for me?
If you can't help us, we'd be happy to ask the owner of the farmstead. We'll just tell him that the man sleeping in the shade of the orchard sent us. What do you think?
The man seems to size you up, and then a crooked smile spreads across his face.
All right, you caught me. The people rode northwest. But please don't tell Father Mullen.
There's no reason for that if you told the truth. So, northwest, you say?
You continue on your journey, while the lazy labourer sinks back into the grass.
É continuar a dormir. Está bem. Acho que vou gravar. Acho que vou gravar aqui. Este jogo tem muitos defeitos.
The first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is. There is hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer. Boindil draws his axes, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, Men enter the square from the left and the right, cutting off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Are you going to kill us just like you killed the travelling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us, you damn murderers!
Murderers? Come here, dwarf killer!
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind, in cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
O que eu vou dizer? Este não. Este talvez. Este, gosto deste.
So apparently you saw us committing murder, but you didn't intervene? And then you overtook us and only set a trap for us now, and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened. Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
We knew that the good people of Clintel would stand by us in confronting you. Mort was well known and respected around here.
But how did you know that we would come to Clintel of all places? If you were really tracking us, that wouldn't have been possible. But if you, on the other hand, were the ones being tracked, then it would have been easy for you to steer us into this trap.
He does have a point, Medarin. Why did you?
The village elder stops mid-sentence as the leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. The village elder turns from the mercenary to look at you, and then gives his men a signal to withdraw.
Combate? Tem combate? Mais combate.
Watch out for the archers.
O que é isto? Ficas com construção grande. Eu não recupera? E se eu recuperar? Quinze mercenários. Vai lá, recupera.
And what now? Too easy! Huh?
Lá foste.
Yes?
Tudo o que fazer.
End it.
Então, o que é isso?
What is it?
É kill.
What is it?
Tu. Tu, matava este.
Pavrakas!
Yes?
Tu não mataste este?
Oh, what bad luck for you! And what now? I didn't hit you very hard. Come here, you.
Matei 3.
Yes?
Então, raio do arqueiro. Arqueiro. Quem é aquele?
He hardly put up a fight.
Então, arqueiro. Tinha ali, atenção. 4.
As well as done.
Of course! Say goodbye forever!
Tu,
Huh? Understood.
vai atacar as arqueiros.
Huh?
Tu, atacar
Oh,
os
what bad luck for you! Say goodbye
Olha o
forever!
que estás a fazer. Quero isto.
Huh? Yes?
Tu, ativa isto.
With
Atacar
pleasure.
este.
What is it? Come here,
Atacar
you!
este.
Pow! Another one bites the dust! Huh?
Vai ajudar este.
Say goodbye forever! And what now?
Tu, atacar este.
Yes.
Tu tens de curar.
Attack!
És fraquinho.
Huh? Ha ha!
Atacar deste. Mais Vou correr.
And I didn't hit you very hard! Creature.
Deixa eu curar. Faltam 5. Estão ali 2. Não, estes. Não. Estes. Estão ali 3.
What is it? On my way! All right. Of course!
4.
On my way! Huh? What is it? As good as done. Say goodbye forever. What is it?
Yes.
Ficas aqui a recuperar.
Huh? He hardly put up a fight. Huh?
Tu.
Oh, what bad luck for you!
Já estás mal. Tu.
Say goodbye forever.
Anda para combate.
At once. Understood. On my way. Attack!
What is it?
Não, vou saltar para trás deles. Mas está tudo?
The last of the mercenaries falls to the ground, but
consegui.
Bögnilim is still in the frenzy of battle. You and Boendal have to physically restrain him until he comes to his senses. Otherwise, he would have stormed the houses to find more adversaries. You walk up to the body of the mercenaries' leader and search his pockets. You soon find something. A letter.
An anonymous client seeks dwarf skulls cleanly cut, shorn, and put into jars with honey. 1,000 gold coins will be paid for each skull. Khan, Bounty Hunters Guild Master.
That's bounty hunters hunting for dwarves. Despicable.
You hold the letter aloft so that everyone can see it.
Look, citizens of Clintel, proof that these men are the killers. They are bounty hunters hunting for dwarves.
The village elder comes out of one of the houses, flanked by other villagers. You ignore their weapons, as well as their sinister expressions, and hand over the letter.
It would seem you are telling the truth. And you only killed those who deceived us. I thank you for this.
The village elder signals to a woman. and a few moments later, she brings you food and a bag of gold.
Take this in thanks for your actions.
Ei, muito nível. Nível 4. Gosto disto. Este gosto lá muito. Gosto mais. Eu gosto mais deste que este. Eu gosto mais deste. E agora só ao nível 6 é que escolho um destes. Ok. Comida e dinheiro. Ok. Deixa-me gravar que este jogo. Vamos para aqui. Mas que é fixe? O que é isto aqui?
The hamlet of Sungird certainly lives up to its name. You arrive as the sun sets behind the tower of a Palandial temple, lighting up its stained glass. There's a shop in the village, and through the window, as well as some everyday objects and food, you also spy a shelf full of books.
Então na loja.
A small bell rings as you enter the shop. The twins look around, but seem rather disinterested, until they discover a couple of gemstones on display. On the wall to your left is the bookshelf you saw through the window. It's quite unusual for a village shop to sell books. You stroll towards the bookshelf and read some of the titles written on the spines of the books. You know many of the works from Lot Yonan's library.
Oh, by fracas, look, dear brother! The scholar really is looking at books!
It's an interesting selection, Boindle. I could make some recommendations for you.
Boindle throws his arm around your shoulder and pulls you slowly away from the bookshelf.
What if someone sees you? Here, this is more our kind of thing.
You follow him reluctantly and are shown the selection of gemstones.
O que é que eu estou para vender? Ah, não tem nada de jeito. Só isto? Eu não quero nenhum disto. Comida ainda tenho. Ok.
Boindle is walking next to you in silence. Now and then he looks at you from the side.
And you really do like books?
Yeah, I'm curious. And you can find many answers in books.
Won't you have found all the answers at some point?
Quite the contrary. The more books you read, the more questions you ask.
I knew it. Oh, just a waste of time.
Bem, estou a chegar, deixa-me gravar outra vez.
You approach the village and can tell even from far off that something isn't right. The smell of burnt wood and death is in the air.
Outra vez aqui.
By Vracus.
The piggies have really shown those pointy ears. We couldn't have done it any better.
Stay alert. I want to find out what happened to Guren.
O que aconteceu aqui?
The elf maiden's graceful snow-white face still radiates beauty, in terrible contrast to the rest of her appearance. From the neck down, she is nothing more than a blood-red, damp and glistening skeleton. There are long nails sticking through her thin bones, and where her beautiful eyes once were, are now gaping black holes.
Oh, meu Deus.
The smell of the smoke has accompanied you for a while now. But here, so close to the bodies, it is masked by the sweet smell of death. You have a bitter taste in your mouth and have to pull yourself together to avoid vomiting in disgust. The hand that painted this picture was that of a master. It is composed exclusively in shades of red, but every single little detail is painstakingly and precisely reflected. Trees, the remains of buildings, bodies. You hesitate.
This picture portrays the village in its state of ruin.
Examining the canvas more closely, you realise that it is actually made of skin, and the red paint seems more than suspicious now.
Oh meu Deus.
This is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen.
Ja, burn. Não tem aqui nada para vestir. Não. 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 Aquilo está fechado. Aqui, pera, uma coisa qualquer que ativou. Onde é que está isso?
You have read about the elves and their buildings. This here had always just been a small example of their architectural skill, which achieved perfection in Alandur. Now burning and ruined, the pavilion makes an even sadder impression.
Okay.
Hoofprints! Burned into the ground!
On fire?
The fire in Boindill's eyes flares up with delight.
Huzzah! That would make a change from those stupid Peggies. Did you hear that, brother? We might get to test our blades on Tion's pointy ears.
Okay. Cased.
Green Glade was one of the few places in Girdlegard where humans and elves lived together. You don't see any elven features among all the faces contorted with pain and fear. You look away.
O que é que eu faço aqui? Não há aqui nada para clicar. Deixa mais para dentro. Ah, tem aqui uma porta. Esta câmera. O que é este?
The body of the man is riddled with arrows and is lying in a small patch of undamaged ground while a sea of flames must have raged in a circle around him. The robes remind you of those of Lot Yonan's famuli. This, plus the fact that the man used magic, makes you quite sure that this is Garen.
Ok, este é Garen. O que é isto?
Garen had these books on him when he was attacked. Was he trying to bring them to safety?
Your eyes fall upon a sealed letter next to the books. The circumstances seem grave enough for you to break the seal.
Greetings, Tugger. I am glad to hear that you finally wish to confide in Lot Yonan. I have found out something new about the demon. It's all written in these books. I think they are the key to his destruction, or I hope so, at least. Yours faithfully, Goren.
O que é que só encontro magos mortos?
What?
Ops, acho que eu sei coisa à frente. Não, não posso.
You destroyed my painting. Now I need fresh blood to paint a new one.
Fui esta.
Huzzah! This will be fun! We finally get to fight!
I hope your blood doesn't clot too much. It has to be nice and fluid for my fine brushstrokes.
Okay.
Ha! How do you plan to defeat us, pointy ears? There are 3 of us.
Oh, only 3. That makes it easier.
She looks over the corpses.
Otharin lueth buanre.
Okay.
But what's happening?
No.
That's-
Geest.
The perished land.
Impossible. Greenglade is south of the barrier.
I know of nothing else that can resurrect the dead. Knock their heads off or they'll keep coming back.
Oh meu, não, isso não é boa ideia. Não. Oh meu Deus, vou lutar contra mortos-vivos. Eu não gosto de lutar contra mortos-vivos.
End it!
Huh? Yes?
Oh, what bad luck
Como é que vou ter cabo disto?
What is it?
Que mata as sombras, mortos-vivos.
Yes?
Isto vai ser horrível. Isto vai ser
We hardly
horrível.
put up a fight.
Ela fugiu do meu ataque.
I didn't hit you very hard. What is it?
Huh? Attack!
And what now?
Huh? With pleasure.
Yes? End it! Favrakas!
Ativar isto.
What is it?
Tu ativas isto. Outra vez.
What is it?
Tu não estás. Não tens poderes.
Oh, what bad luck for
Podes
you!
saltar? Não.
Attack! Favrakas!
And what now?
Pow! Another one bites the dust. Yes?
Yes? Attack!
Onde é que ela foi?
Wild creature!
Who's next?
Favrakas!
Isolar este.
What is it?
Este.
Who's next?
Uh-huh.
What the hell is going on? O cavalo está a ficar todo. Tinha sido aqui.
On my way. At once.
Tinha sido aqui.
And
Vou
what
matar.
now?
Huh? Attack!
What is it?
Yes? End it!
Ito.
Huh?
Too easy! Who's next? I didn't hit you very hard! Yes?
Está complicado.
He hardly put up a
Too
fight.
easy! I didn't hit you very hard!
Uh-huh.
Kerülést.
Yeah! Ow! Another one bites the dust!
Attack! On my way. Vile creature.
What is it?
Petit zaito mortos. Vivo. Que é
What
esta
is it?
fazer?
Yes?
Yeah! Who's next?
Killed!
Too easy!
At once.
I didn't hit you very hard! Huh?
Este agora.
And again! Say goodbye forever!
Huh?
O que está a fazer?
On my way.
Cai de cavalo, vai embora cavalo.
Who's next? Yeah! Yes?
Este cavalo está assim. Ah, apanhei-te agora bem.
On my way!
Uh-huh.
Preciso salvar este. Este piata areia.
Understood. I need help over here! Quickly!
Huh? As good as done!
Yes? Understood. They're hitting me pretty hard! Huh?
Yes?
Uh-huh. On my way.
Não, fica quieto. Quero que fiques
At once.
quieto sem atacar.
And what now?
Huh?
Ainda cá estou.
Oh, what bad luck for you!
Não.
Huh? On my
No.
way.
Vai.
Understood.
Não, não vejo atrás de mim.
Huh?
E agora, quem que falta? Falta aquele.
What is it?
Este, mata aquele.
And what now?
Huzzah! Too easy!
E quem é que falta? Falta um. Ah, tá ali.
Ha-ha!
Yes? Say
Attack you.
goodbye forever! Who's next? Oh, what bad luck for you!
Lá vai o cavalo. Anda cá, cavalinho. Cavalinho, cavalinho. Já foste? Pronto, cavalinho está a dormir.
Dwarves, you protected the glade.
Ela está viva? Ela está viva.
The perished land. The barrier has fallen.
You can feel your stomach cramping. Unlike Bögnilim, you can't say a word.
The damn Magi only had one job!
So this is what it is like to rise from the dead. I feel nothing. I am left with nothing. My love, my beauty, my home, and my forest. Everything has been taken from me. I beg you, have mercy and put an end to my suffering.
Without even being able to look into her eyes, you recognize the sadness in the elf maiden's expression. The dignity that she must once have radiated can only be imagined in her current state.
Garen was here, and I've heard that you elves have special abilities in battle. Did the Alfar take you by surprise in your sleep?
I felt her presence, but when I confronted the elf, she had already killed the first of us and resurrected the perished land. It fills humans and dwarves with a hatred for life. It turns you into beasts. They charge through the village like a fury, and everyone that they killed became one of theirs.
If the perished land spreads further south, then Nodon won't need any orcs, ogres, or Alfar. One human losing their life in the perished land would be enough for the madness to sweep through the land like the plague.
Your stomach turns, but you know that it's right. You've never seen the twins looking so serious. They would pit themselves against any army of orcs, but this is something beyond their power, and yours.
We need the Magi. They must rebuild the barrier.
Ja, precisamos dos magos.
We must go to Lotyonen before the perished land spreads further. He will know what is to be done.
Neither of your companions objects.
I can't believe it. The barrier has fallen. How could that happen?
Who could tell? Anything could go wrong with all that hocus-pocus.
It had held back the perished land since the fall of the Fifthlings. Reinforcing the barrier whenever it loses power is the primary duty of the great Magi. I can't imagine how Nodon or anyone else could have broken through it.
You think of the demons mentioned in Garen's letter. You wonder whether it could be possible that a demon from the outer lands might possess powers so great that even the 6 Magi weren't ready for it.
Nível 6. Agora, onde é que vamos? Poder novo. Gosto deste. Não, isto é para correr num... Eu vou escolher este. O que é isto? Um anel com inscrição de face interna. Dinheiro e comida, ok. Agora para onde é que vamos? Vamos para trás? Vamos para trás. Isto vamos dizer, vou pôr isto para trás. Sério, vou para trás. Por que é que eu não posso... O mapa não funciona?